Thank you for joining me again today, and we are going to be discussing the story of Lot, or a little bit about Lot, who is Abraham's nephew. Now, Lot has retreated, and he is now living in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, and God comes to Abraham and says, that is a horrible, wicked, evil city, and I'm about to destroy it. I'm about to rain down some fierceness on Sodom and Gomorrah, and I'm gonna wipe it out. And Abraham pleads with God not to do that if there is anyone righteous there. He's basically pleading for his nephew Lot. God agrees to have mercy on Lot and his wife and their 2 daughters. And so in chapter 19, we see the angels are actually going to the city, and they're going to rescue Lot. And chapter 19 of Genesis, there's some crazy stuff happening. I'll let you read into that. Discover some of that on your own. You can see the vileness of Sodom and Gomorrah as you read chapter 19. And then on down in verse 15, we know that the angels, it's the morning that things are going to really start picking up. And so the angels are literally, it says they're urging Lot. Like, they're not just able to say, come on, let's go, and he's up and ready. Like, he's the opposite of Abraham. God said go, Abraham got up and went. God tells Lot to go, like, an angel literally shows up at his door and says, let's go, and Lot's having a hard time moving. He says, we've got to go now, it's fixing to happen. And he's grabbing all of his family. And in chapter 19 verse 16, it says, but Lot lingered. He lingered. The angel literally, it says, has to seize him and his family and take off with them. And he tells them, do not look back. Do not stop. Go, run, be gone. And in verse 26, we see, but Lot's wife, who was behind him, looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Now, I mean, that's a bad state to find yourself in, if you become a pillar of salt. But why did she become a pillar of salt? Was it just that she disobeyed? Yes. But what was it in her heart that led her to disobedience? We have a husband who lingers and a wife who looks back. And from my experience, lingering and looking back are 2 things that cause issues in our life. If you struggle with shame in your past, or guilt, or sin in your past, lingering where you are, looking back to those things, maybe like you find yourself in sin now and it's hard to escape from it because honestly you enjoy it. Like, you're lingering there, you don't want to leave, you're not ready for God to say, come on, it's time to leave, like, you got to get out of this. I'm about to remove you from this mess. And so we find ourselves lingering in our sin, or looking back and longing to be there again. I think that Lot's wife didn't just look back. I think she looked back and thought, I'm not ready to leave. I'm not ready to go. And we see that corruption and that vileness and that evilness had kind of was seeping into their very hearts and lives, so that they didn't have the faith of Abraham to get up and go when God said go. I mean, literally, God sent angels to their doorstep and said it's time to go. And they had to seize them and drag them and tell them, quit looking back, run, get away. And so maybe today you find yourself in a situation where you're lingering or you're looking back. Neither one of those are good situations to be in. And so pray today that God would draw you, and that if he has to, he'll seize you and get you out as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the blog.